Welcome to ELT Bhaskar. Subscribe the channel for watching more such interesting videos on English-based grammar and language skills. So, today we are going to learn the difference between some and any. Yes, we know that some and any are known as quantifiers, and we will learn the difference between these two quantifiers. So, let's take some random examples, some applications, real applications of some and any. What are they? Yes, number 1, please give me some water. Number 2, there are some toffees on the table. Number 3, these checks can be cashed at any branch of the bank. Number 4, some medicines have serious side effects. Number 5, is there any letter for me? Number 6, I hope you won't have any trouble now. Now we will know what is the basic idea behind the use of or application of some and any. The basic idea is that it will refer to some quantity and number. It will refer to some quantity or number. Is it so? Yes, it is. How? Let's see. Please give me some water. So some water here refers to a quantity. Number 2, there are some toffees. Some toffees are referred to a number, right? These checks can be cashed at any branch of the bank. Here, any branch refers to a number, though very indefinite in sense. In this context, I must mention that both some and any refer to indefinite number, but any is more indefinite in sense than some, which we should keep in mind. Number 4, some medicines have serious side effects. Here, some refers to a number. Is there any letter for me? Again, referring to number. I hope you won't have any trouble. Here too, it refers to not number but quantity. Okay, so it should be either a quantity or number. Okay, so the applications of some and any is restricted to the use of quantity and number. But I should not use the word restricted, because in some of our slides we will also find that it also acts as pronouns. Yes, we will do it separately. We will know how that happens separately. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, where we will find that the specific use of some. So what is that specific use of some? Let's see. Let's take some random examples. Yes, he gave me some books to read. Some books to read, okay? I'm feeling very thirsty. Could you give me some water? Okay, so what we find here is that the general idea behind the application of both these sentences are that while the first sentence is an affirmative sentence, the second sentence referred to some interrogative sentence. Okay, so what we come to know, that if the sentence is an affirmative, then we will use some and not any here. Okay, so we will use some here, but we should also keep the basic idea in mind. What is the basic idea? That both some and any refer to quantity or number, right? So here it refers to a number, and also it is an affirmative sentence, and therefore we have used here some and not any. Okay, so let's see the second one. I'm feeling very thirsty. Could you give me some water? So it is an interrogative sentence, no doubt, but have you noticed that it is in the form of request? Yes, dear students, that if the interrogative sentence where we are using some is in the form of command or request, we use some and not any. And if the answer we expect is yes, then we will prefer to use some here, right? So that's the specific use of some. Okay, now we will move on to the specific use of any. So take some random examples regarding any. Yes, number 1, this restaurant doesn't provide any Bengali food. Number 2, I hope you didn't find any good books except this. Number 3, can you do this work yourself or do you need any help? Number 4, is there any issue left with your computer now? So there are 4 sentences, 4 different applications, and that also has a general idea. What is the general idea? That in case of the first sentence, this restaurant doesn't provide any Bengali food. Here, don't you find that it is a negative sentence? Yes, it is. How? Because we have used the word doesn't, not. We have used a negative word here, and therefore it is a negative sentence. And we will also find that we will also know that if the sentence is a negative, then we will use any, okay, and not some. Quite contrast to the general idea where we use some in case of affirmative sentence, and here we will use any in case of negative sentence. And that's what we have done in the second sentence also. That I hope you didn't find any good books except this. So any here refers to here. So it is a negative sentence, and therefore we have used any here. Okay. Now for sentence number 3 and 4, what we can say that yes, both of them are in interrogative sentence, and look, the answer the speaker expects is a no, and therefore we have used any. So if the answer we expect yes, we use some in interrogative sentence, and if the answer we expect no, we use any here, right? So I hope the understanding of some and any is becoming clear to you. Okay. So to make the understanding more concrete, we will see the comparative view of some and any, the comparative applications of some and any. How? Let's see. He gave me some books to read. This restaurant doesn't provide any Bengali food. I am feeling very thirsty. Could you give me some water? Can you do this work yourself, or do you need any help? Now, what is the basic idea? The basic idea, the fundamental idea is that it will refer to some quantity or number. Now, we will see that how some is different from any application wise, or any is different from some application wise. Let's see. Yes, in case of affirmative sentence, that's what we have learned, we use some. In case of negative sentence, that's what we have learned, we use any. In case of interrogative sentence, if it is a request or command, we use some. And also if the answer the speaker expect is yes, then we use some. And in case of interrogative sentence, the answer we expect is no, we use any then, right? That's what we have learned in the previous slides. So I hope the understanding regarding the difference between some and any has become concrete, and now you are in a position to apply it on your own, right? So in different competitive level government examinations, it will help you to crack the examinations, as well as it will also make you grammatically very sound. Okay. Now I would like to ask you to recall what we have learned in the, or what I have said you in the very beginning of the sentence, or in the very beginning of the this video, that there is a difference between some and any regarding the sense they convey. Yes, I told you that both of them convey indefinite sense, right? But at the same time, I also told you that any is more indefinite in sense than some. Okay, so both any and some refer to indefinite amount and number, but any is more indefinite in sense than some. So if something suggests more indefinite, we use any instead of some, even if it is affirmative sentence. That's the core idea. Okay, so let's see some other aspect of some and any. What is that? Yes, some and any can also act as pronouns. Yes, what we know about pronoun? That the pronoun is that which is used in place of noun. That's the simplest idea we have. So here we will take some random examples where we will find some and any acting as pronouns. Number 1. Ravi has many shirts. Some are new and some old. And here you can well understand that some here refers to nothing but the shirts. So shirts is a noun. Shirts is noun which is for which we use some here acting as pronouns, right? The teacher explained the chapter on electrostatic energy to all the students, but some were absent-minded. So some here refers to students. So some is acting here as pronouns. Okay, we know that pronoun is that which is used in place of noun. So what is the noun here? The students. So some is used in place of the students. Okay. Number 3. They say there are many birds on the trees. I don't see any. Again, any here refers to the trees or birds. What do you think? Yes, it is referring to the birds. Okay. Number 4. Do you want some tea? No, I don't want any. So any is referring to tea. Yes. So now we will move on to the applications of some and any. So there are a number of, as you can find, questions coming up, and each of the sentences are incomplete, and that is to be filled with some and any, right? So the gap to be filled up with some and any. So what do you think the first gap to be filled up with, some or any? He did not want dash help. It's a negative sentence and therefore any, right? Can you give me some help or any help? It's a question and also seems to be a request, and therefore we should use some here. Have you lost dash of your articles? Any of your articles. The answer to expected is in no, and therefore any. I have lost some of my articles. Okay, I have lost some of my articles. So the sentence is an affirmative, and therefore we will use some here. Will you kindly give me some milk? Okay, again the question seems to be a request, and therefore we should use some here. You may follow any course you like. So I hope that what we learned in just now, okay, that the difference between some and any, what, that any is more indefinite than some, and therefore even if the sentence is in affirmative, we are using any here because the sentence demands any here instead of some, because we are referring to something more indefinite. Okay, and therefore we are using the any. Okay, though the sentence is in affirmative. Now come to statement number 7. Has he any or some news for me? Okay, we can use here any and some both, right? Why? Because depending on the situation, depending on the context, the answer could be yes in positive or in negative both, and therefore we can use any and some, anyone. Okay, has he not any friend there? Okay, so if we, as we know that if we expect the answer to be in negative, then we will use any. So that's why we have used. But let me also tell you something regarding these applications, that the use of any and some, be it any or be it some, is really applicable, not applicable, but the use of some and any can be really understandable in reference to the context. Okay, so if we expect, if the speaker is expecting the answer in affirmative, then he will definitely use some, and if the speaker is expecting the answer to be in negative, he will use any. So it depends on the speaker and the intention of the speaker, right? So let's come to statement 9. I want some friend who will stick to me. So here it is a ray of hope. There is a ray of hope the speaker is referring to. Okay, so I want some friend. So as I told you that any is more indefinite, so if we use any here, the sentence would not make any sense, and therefore here we are using some here to make sense, right? I want some friend. So some friend here refers to someone less indefinite, right? And therefore we have used some. So the last one, dash man must have gone there. So again some, because as we know that any is more indefinite, so we will use some here, as the sentence demands some to be put here. Okay, so what we have learned so far is very relevant if you are aspiring to crack government examinations. So there is the English section in every government examination, and that section will demand your sound knowledge in English-based English grammar and English language. And therefore, if you want to progress, if you want to be more rich in terms of grammatical skills and language skills, then you should subscribe the channel. It will help you to update your knowledge. It will help you in understanding different applications in English grammar and language skills. And I hope you have liked the entire video. If so, do like and subscribe this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you can get the updated videos as soon as it is posted. Thank you for watching the video.